Hi there YouTube, I'm Ben and I am now Golf 5 Romeo Echo Victor. This is Golf 5 Romeo Echo Victor, G5 REV calling secure, standing by for any calls. So if you've been following the channel for a while, you'll know that I passed my foundation course back in May and became Mike 7 Bravo Mike Tango, my initials. Although the call sign I really wanted was Rev, and the clue is in the dog collar around my neck. I'm a Church of England vicar, it's my full-time job, and I just play radio when I'm not busy. And then I did my intermediate exam and carried on in the same vein and went with 2E0 BMT, and that's been the channel name for a while. But today it's all being rebranded around my new call sign, Golf 5 Romeo Echo Victor, Golf 5 Rev. And I'm delighted with the call sign. Let me tell you how I got it. Well, a friend of mine, or a new friend I should say, who watches this channel, sent me an email out of the blue simply to say, did you realise when it comes to the time to apply for your full license call sign that you don't have to go with the M0 series, you can go with another one. Now I know there'll be lots of different views on that, and some people will say, well, it's wrong that you get one from ages ago because it puts you in the wrong age bracket, it doesn't let other people know when you join the hobby. But frankly, I looked and I looked and I looked at M0 call signs and there wasn't any that took my fancy. So I rang up the Ofcom folk, very, very good customer service from Ofcom, and I spoke to a lady called Rebecca, and she said if I printed out a form, filled it in and sent it off along with 20 quid, then there's a chance that they will give me another call sign. However, I said, how do I know that the call signs I'm applying for are actually still available? So very kindly, she looked it up on the system to find that Golf 5 REV was still available, hadn't been taken yet. And yes, she said if you apply for that, there's a good chance you'll get it. So I printed out the form, filled it in, emailed it over, and it said it'll take up to 2 weeks. But just about 4 hours later, they got back in contact with me and said, you need to now pay your money and we'll issue you your call sign on the same day. So I was delighted. I paid my money. I sent my 20 quid over to Ofcom, and I hope it's the best 20 quid I'll ever spend, because of course this call sign is something that will follow me around for the rest of my life. So hopefully it was a wise investment. And they sent me the email and they said, your new call sign is Mike 0 JLO. Well, I was a bit disappointed at that I'd just been given next in line, and not being a particular Jennifer Lopez fan, J-Lo didn't really do it for me. So I decided to ring up Ofcom and say, hey, what's going on here? And I spoke to a gentleman, I can't remember his name, and he was so unbelievably helpful. He looked on the system, he said, I can see exactly what's happened here. Someone's just clicked the wrong button and they've issued you the next call sign along. And they said they were really sorry about that, but their managers had now all gone home and I'd have to ring back the following day. And then he said, oh, hang on a sec. And he put me on hold and a manager was there and they swapped it all over. They revoked M0 JOL. So I can now say that I've had a license revoked. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. They revoked that one and then they issued me G5 REV. So that's my new call sign and that's where I'm going forward. What was the G5 call sign? Well, a lot of people are saying, oh, that's interesting because it's the G5 RV, which of course isn't far from G5 REV. Was the antenna built by G5 RV. He's now obviously silent key. I say obviously because the G5 and then 2-letter call signs were originally issued, I think, back in 1909 to 1921. So even if you took your full exam as a teenager, you know, you've got to be about 100 now to still have one of those original ones. Although I noticed there are some 2-letter suffixes that have crept back in. The Ofcom said that that wasn't possible for me. I had to go with a 3-letter suffix. So I went with G5 mainly because I think in a pile-up 5 will get across better, and also it's quite rare. Already I've had lots of contacts with people saying you're the first ever G5 I've worked, or I haven't worked a G5 in years. It feels like G5 is quite rare. G5s were, with the 3-digit suffix, were issued to people from abroad who had a reciprocal license to use their radio well in Britain. So there was quite a lot of G5s, I'm told, who were American military, who were based here, who had a ham radio license back in the United States. And when they came here, they applied for a reciprocal license and they were given a G5. I would love to know, perhaps if you've got an old call sign book or check back over your logs, Did someone used to have G5REV? Perhaps an American Padre who was here from an airbase and used to use it. Perhaps someone else. Do have a look through. I'd love to know the history of the call sign. If someone did have it before me, perhaps I'm the first person to have it. But that's me. I'm now Ben. I'm G5REV, and I'm delighted with my new call sign, and you will see the sort of rebranding of this YouTube channel as I go forward with that. Well, that's all from me this time. I've got a few videos in the pipeline, so do stay tuned, and more content is coming your way very soon. I'm Ben. I'm Golf 5 Romeo Echo Victor, off and clear. 7-3. This is Golf 5 Romeo Echo Victor, G5REV calling secure, standing by for any calls.